911.
Hi, I'm at Come and Go on First Avenue. There was just a shot fire. A man was just shot.
Okay, which Come and Go?
32nd Street and Come and Go. I think he got shot in the leg. They put him in a car. He's in a car.
What kind of a car?
It's in a Monte Carlo. Oh. Okay, breathing.
Okay, I'm going to
Oh
search
my
your
God.
medic.
Police rush to the scene, and the moment they arrive, it's clear the victim is clinging to life, caught in a desperate struggle between survival and death.
When officers first got there, Reginald Ward was still alive. And in fact, other bystanders who were there that morning had attempted to provide aid to him.
When police arrived, Reggie's girlfriend was already there, along with a few bystanders. Everyone tried desperately to stop the bleeding, but nothing worked. And just then, paramedics rushed in to take over.
By the time I got to Come and Go, the victim, Reginald Ward, had already been transported to St. Luke's Hospital. I was notified by officers at the scene that Reginald Ward had a lot of blood loss. It appeared where the shooting happened, there were multiple shell casings. The car that Reginald Ward was in was a black two-door Monte Carlo. It was near the exit, and that's where they had stopped and attended to Reggie.
Officers began canvassing the area and questioned the gas station manager. She explained that while she was cleaning the pumps, a gold sedan came speeding in and stopped right in front of Reggie's car. Moments later, Reggie was seen arguing with the driver. Sensing trouble, she hurried back inside the store. By the time she came out again, the shooting had already happened. Detectives immediately asked her to turn over the surveillance footage.
But there are cameras on this date in question of when the shooting occurred. There's a camera obstructed, and then another one of its cameras weren't even working.
The gas station surveillance footage revealed nothing. With no clear leads, detectives were left with only one option: to question the person who had been right there at the scene, Reggie's girlfriend.
The doctor came in while I was trying to talk to Kiara. Reginald Ward was alive, but wasn't looking good.
He was in what's called PEA, pulseless electrical activity, when he came in, so he's not getting blood flow to his brain or
Just is he kind of dead?
we got a heart rhythm back, and it's
So how long?
it may be
How long?
alive enough to go to the OR, but how his brain recovers after all of that downtime is unknown. Could be badly stroked.
Right.
It's definitely not.
Where was he shot? Do you know?
Reginald was shot in the lower left area near his groin. He was shot by this special ammunition called RIP.
RIP, or radically invasive projectile ammunition. This ammunition is meant to cause as much damage to someone's internal organs as possible.
This type of ammunition is not your normal 9mm ammunition that you would buy to go target shooting at a gun range.
It is these special bullets that are designed when they enter into a body to split into multiple pieces.
Officers returned to the crime scene, searching for other surveillance cameras. Anything that could finally reveal what had really happened that morning.
We start looking at businesses in the area, and one of the closest ones was Flowerama across the street. They had a camera that was pointing towards Come and Go, and it also gets the entrance and exit location off of First Avenue. At 7:49 a.m., I observed Reginald Ward's black Monte Carlo entering the gas station. It was being followed very closely by a gold-colored sedan. They pull up to the pumps and stop.
We think we have this perfect view, but there's this black pickup truck that's blocking a half of it.
We were able to enlarge the Flyerama video surveillance. We're able to see Reginald Ward exit his vehicle. He's identified because he has a white t-shirt on. The individual in the gold car is wearing all dark clothing.
The two individuals kind of keep a brief distance from each other. They're not face to face, they're not in each other's nose to nose. But there is definitely, by the body language, there's some words being exchanged. We see Kiara Morse get out of the passenger side, trying to go after Reginald Ward. When Reginald gets shot, he kind of bounces back a little bit towards his car.
He falls to the ground and Kiara helps him back into the vehicle. The shooter gets back into his gold car and makes a fast exit from the gas station.
Kiara gets in the driver's seat with Reginald. She starts to go past the gas pumps, goes onto the southwest side of the gas station parking lot, abruptly stops.
Kiara exits the driver's side and runs around to the passenger's door. Bystanders then emerge from the come and go and heads towards the black Monte Carlo to help Reggie. We are hoping to not only see what happened, but also try and get a license plate or a possible identification made on the shooter. We were unable to get a license plate or a description of the driver, but we were able to get a description of the gold color sedan. It was a Ford Fusion.
Officers then headed back to the hospital, determined to question Kiara once again, hoping she could finally explain what really happened.
Did he stay all night with you last night?
Mm-hmm.
When you guys were driving to work, what happened on the way up to the gas station?
Nothing. Basically, there was a car that we went to the gas station. We then went to the gas station.
Where did you first see that car?
I wasn't paying attention. I didn't expect a car. I didn't notice until like the car pulled in too.
We asked Kiara to try and explain what had happened, as we had told her that witnesses knew that she was right there.
From the confrontation that some of the witnesses talked about, they said there might have been more to like what was going on, right? So, well, that's just their perception.
How can they sit up there and say that?
Well, they understand that one car almost chased the other car into the parking lot.
They can't know what's going on when I don't even know.
Yeah.
She really was difficult and didn't want to answer the question. Kiara, to me, seemed like she didn't want to help us.
She was at the scene. She saw the shooter. We needed to expand our investigation further, so we got a search warrant for Kiara's apartment. The night we did the search warrant at Kiara's apartment, we observed there was multiple surveillance cameras on the outside of her building and the local businesses.
The apartment of Kiara Morse was searched in an attempt to find potentially any evidence that would lead us to a suspect of this shooting.
During a search of Kiara's apartment, officers made a shocking discovery: 9mm rounds hidden inside a drawer. The find left investigators stunned.
The rounds found were different from the 9mm rounds that were actually used in the shooting.
But that was nothing. Investigators were about to uncover something even more stunning.
We found a note that said, "I miss you," and it was signed Todrick.
They don't know who Todrick is. They don't have a connection. What's going on? Is this potentially a connection to the shooting, or is this some random note?
In the meantime, word of the shooting had reached Reggie's family, and the devastating news sent shockwaves through them.
My cousin called me. She said, Zan, Reg got shot. She's crying. And I'm like, what happened? She said, I don't know. I hang up the phone. I screamed.
And soon after came the heartbreaking update. Reggie had been pronounced dead at the hospital.
When Reginald Ward died, we have something that went from a potential attempted homicide to a homicide case.
The day after the shooting, we received an anonymous call saying that Kiara and her boyfriend Reginald were having problems with a ex-boyfriend. This anonymous caller did name the ex-boyfriend as Todd Jenkins. We then remembered the note we found in Kiara's apartment, "I miss you, Todrick," and we felt there's probably a connection. May have found a motive for Reginald's killing, but we need to do more investigation and find out more information about Todd Jenkins.
We find that he's from Davenport, Iowa, which is about an hour and a half from Cedar Rapids. So he'd been previously arrested also in Iowa for misdemeanor crime. Where that crime occurred, they took a .40 caliber pistol from him. The trace on the firearm shows that it was purchased from a gun store in Davenport. Contacting that gun store, we find that Todd Jenkins had recently purchased a Glock 9mm pistol. We also found that he had purchased RIP ammunition store.
The same ammunition that was used to kill Reginald Ward. This ammunition was so rare that even the gun shop owner said, I've only sold one box to one person, and it was this person, Todd Jenkins.
On Monday, November the 4th, we'd received video surveillance from Kiara's apartment building and local businesses. The video surveillance from Kiara's building, it shows us a wide angle of the parking lot and the entrance into the building.
At 7:46 a.m. on the surveillance video, we see two figures exit the apartment building and then get into a black Monte Carlo.
Those two individuals we see is Reginald Ward and Kiara. And we see them walk to the parking spot where Reginald's car is parked. Reginald get into the driver's seat, Kiara get into the passenger seat. We then see the vehicle start to back up from its parking spot.
As Reginald and the black Monte Carlo back out away from their spot, on the corner of the building, I notice a gold-colored sedan back up and head towards the black Monte Carlo.
The Gold Ford Fusion pulls up so that each car could see who's in the other car.
We see the black Monte Carlo leave the scene. At that point, the gold Ford Fusion spins around and we see it speed out of camera in order to pursue this Monte Carlo.
So after watching this surveillance footage, we now know that the gold-colored sedan was pursuing Reginald in his black Monte Carlo.
But investigators learned there was also a nearby coffee shop, one that might have captured a clear view of what really happened that day.
Scooter's coffee shop sits on the east side of the building.
This would be right beside the suspect. At 7:26 a.m., we observed the gold color sedan drive through the parking lot at Kiara's apartment building and pull into the Scooters parking lot. The gold color sedan had parked and stayed there for 20 minutes, and the driver had not left this vehicle. The driver had parked and waited for Reggie and Kiara to leave.
This wasn't an accidental shooting. This wasn't by mistake, that this was actually a planned out murder execution.
We were able to locate the registered owner of the vehicle. It was a relative of Todd Jenkins.
Detectives traced the vehicle and soon discovered it belonged to the sister of Todd Jenkins.
The Davenport Police Department finds the vehicle in Davenport and abandoned on the street. I contacted Brenda Vitavides about her gold Ford Fusion to find out who would have had the car in Cedar Rapids at the time of the murder. In speaking with her, she does confirm that Todd Jenkins is her brother. She wouldn't tell me, though, who had the car when it was in Cedar.
Officers obtained a search warrant for the vehicle and went over it inch by inch. What they found was telling. The car had been thoroughly cleaned, but forensics dug deeper, pulling GPS data from the car's system. And that data confirmed the truth. The vehicle was at the gas station at the exact time of the murder. The GPS trail revealed another lead. On the morning of the murder, the car had stopped in the parking lot of a Casey's convenience store. Detectives immediately pulled the surveillance video from that location.
At 5:58, we were able to see this gold Ford Fusion on the front cameras. We're able to see this suspect get out, and then we see this suspect enter the store.
And when he walks through the door, you're able to see who it is. I was able to cross-reference his face with a driver's license photo of Todd Jenkins. This person is Kiara's ex-boyfriend. Todd Jenkins approaches the counter, cashes in 2 lottery tickets, then leaves the store. On the exterior camera, you can see Todd pull away in the gold color sedan.
Not only do we have a picture now, but we have the lottery tickets that he used that morning, and he signs Todd Jenkins.
That's the break we've been looking for. Now we knew the identity of the shooter and the past relationship and history with Kiara. At this stage, we were able to prove she was lying because she knows who the shooter is.
Investigators then turned to Kiara's phone record, and what they uncovered was explosive. On the very morning of the murder, Kiara had been on a call with Todd Jenkins.
This shows that he called while he was chasing Reginald Ward and Kiara Morrissey down First Avenue towards the Come and Go store. Also, there's a text message from her to Todd Jenkins that says, if you want to fight or shoot this man, you have to be ready.
We realized Kiara was not telling the truth of what happened in the shooting.
Detectives then went straight to Kiara's apartment, confronting her about the phone records and pressing her for answers she could no longer avoid.
We asked Kiara about a phone call at 7:47 a.m., just 2 minutes before the shooting.
You guys were driving down the road on First Avenue. Did you talk to Todd at that time?
I don't know. I can't remember. I can't remember who I talked to for 2 minutes.
Let's get past the I don't know stuff, okay? You want to tell us the truth?
I can only tell you what I know for a fact is the truth.
We asked her if she has spoke with Todd Jenkins since the shooting.
Probably, yeah. Well, when
How many times do you think you've talked to him?
I don't know.
Do you guys
To a lot.
I know you talk to a lot of people. You told me that over and over. So, have you talked to him? Is he still in Davenport?
I don't know. I'm done talking.
Yara was to the point where she doesn't want to answer questions truthfully.
From my experience, I believe that Kiara was being evasive.
Investigators went back through Kiara's phone records once again and uncovered another lead. A call made to a hotel. When they followed up, they learned Kiara had been staying there. Detectives immediately pulled the hotel's surveillance footage, and what they saw was shocking.
You can clearly see Todd Jenkins and Kiara Morrissey together in the lobby. This does show that Kiara Morrissey, Todd Jenkins, they're back together since this crime had been committed.
Investigators then contacted the U.S. Marshals, and soon both Kiara and her ex-boyfriend, Todd Jenkins, were placed under arrest.
He was transferred to the Kendall County Jail in Illinois. I did interview Todd inside the jail.
Well, I want to take you back to October 30th of 2019. Were you in Cedar Rapids that day?
No, not.
You weren't?
No.
You remember where you were that day?
I was kind of hungover. So,
Kind of hungover?
yeah.
He would never admit that he was in Cedar Rapids. I later showed him a still photograph of him inside the Casey store.
That's you. In a Casey's in Cedar Rapids, Iowa on October 30th of 2019. Why were you there?
I don't know who that is, officer.
Okay, well, that's you.
Given all the evidence that had been gathered in this investigation, I knew that Todd Jenkins was lying. The investigation clearly showed that he was the killer of Reginald Ward.
But in the end, no evidence directly linked Kiara to Reggie's murder, and so the court dropped all charges against her.
This morning, court documents say a Davenport man is now convicted in a deadly shooting at a Cedar Rapids gas station. A judge found Todd Jenkins guilty of first-degree murder and going armed with intent yesterday. He waived his right to a jury trial and had a bench trial in May. His sentencing is set for November 5th. The shooting happened at the Come and Go at 1st Avenue and 32nd Street Northeast in October 2019. Police say Jenkins drove from Davenport with a loaded handgun and waited outside his ex-girlfriend's home to confront Reginald Ward. Ward was the boyfriend of Jenkins' ex-girlfriend. When the couple left in a vehicle, police say Jenkins followed them and got into a road rage incident with Ward. The two vehicles stopped at the gas station where Jenkins shot Ward. Jenkins has claimed it was in self-defense.
In the end, the judge found Todd Jenkins guilty of first-degree murder. His sentence was final, life in prison, without the possibility of parole. Justice was served, but a precious life was lost